I'm not going to take care of you, right? Because there is a distinction between taking care of somebody and helping somebody. I will help you become self-sufficient. That will go a lot further than me just giving you money or putting you up in a home and you just being so dependent on me.
Last time I stopped talking to you, it was because I drew a line, and that line was about money. You know, one of the first times I actually let you back in my life 10 years ago, the first thing you walked in the house, you did what?
Oh, talked about money.
You talked about money. What did you ask me for, Dad? How much money was it? You remember?
No, I don't remember.
It was $600 because you had a.
Oh yeah, $600.
You had a court
That's
case.
The first time.
That wasn't the first time. But that was the first time since we had stopped talking and we talked again. You asked me for $600 because it was some court case, something about a woman, some XYZ. We don't got to get into it. And yeah, you wasn't in the door 15 minutes, and you had asked me for $600. Now, we worked that out, and I helped you the best I could, and we situated that. But I know that this time, this is very, very different. And I mean this, man. I'm not here to try to paint you as some monster, some asshole, because you're not. Once again, you've made mistakes. Who hasn't as a human being?
Right.
And I'm here to tell you that I love you. And, you know, not 24 hours into your being here, not only did you ask me to buy you a truck, you asked me, you know, for some money and you know, trying to stay afloat, XYZ. And you kept talking to me about money, talking to me about money. Now, in the past, I would have said, why the f you talking to me about money? And I would have just shut it all down because I drew my line and you crossed it. Now, here I am at 33 years old, and we had a conversation today, and I said, I wasn't angry, I wasn't upset. I just said, Dad.
But I felt bad. I felt bad about it. That, you know, that's where I felt bad because I didn't look at it like that. You know, I didn't look at it like, boom.
You looked at it like you were telling me about your situation.
Exactly.
And I think that's the difference. I think
When you grow up in that single parent household or in that household without your father, and you overcome all of the obstacles of being in a single parent household, all of the discord, all of the, you know, stigma, all of the roadblocks that have been placed before you, and you overcome all of those hardships, come out of that adversity, use that to fuel your success. And not only are you rising above the occasion, you actually make it out. Okay, out of 100 people, 50% a click through. Out of that 50%, 20% are only actually try to do the work. And out of that 20%, 10% are actually keep going past a certain amount of time. And out of that 10%, only 1% will actually make it. You were that one that made it in your family, right? You're a famous rapper worth millions of dollars. These people that were absent in your life, and these are not, you know, distant relatives. These are people that are immediate family, people that should have been very dear to you your entire life, cheering you on. Come back begging or dry begging, however you want to call it, or it seems to you as though they're only looking at you as a dollar sign. It can sting a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Why should I extend my arm to you? Why should I extend my hand to you now? You were not here helping me, cheering me on. I did this on my own. I built this by myself, by the grace, by the grace of God, and my faith in myself, and my works, and my perseverance. I've built this for myself. When I was back there trying to, on the come up, nobody was shouting me out. Nobody was, you know, reposting me. Nobody was doing anything. More often than not, the people that are rooting for you are going to be complete strangers. People you don't even know, bro. And here you are. You come out of the fucking woodwork, clear out of nowhere. And not only do you come out of nowhere, within the first 15 minutes, you start talking. Now, you have to be a certain caliber of person. You have to have wisdom. You have to been through some things to realize, okay, let me put myself in this person's shoes. Yes, it seems as though you're being disingenuous. You are begging for money, dry begging, not directly asking for money, but, you know, telling me about your problems, telling me how I can flip, do this, that, and the third. Listen, I believe in helping people, and I believe in helping them to a certain extent. Don't just be giving them money. Give them money with a purpose. Don't just do things because you may have to maintain what you do for them. Tone and disposition is everything. Y'all haven't seen each other in a long time. Even if you down to your last fucking dime, you don't ask that man for no money. It has to be a natural flow of things. Because when you start asking or you start begging, it seems like your relationship is contingent on what this person can do for you. And that will ultimately undo any of the mending process. You get what I'm saying? So it's just best, even if you do need it, even if you gonna be homeless tomorrow, don't even say anything. Sometimes that's what it takes to show that person that this relationship, it is worth more than the money. Even if I need it, even if I'm about to be put out the next day, I only have 24 hours to vacate premises. I will be homeless before I ask you for money because I didn't lay that foundation. I did not build that relationship with you as a child as I should have. Just so happens that you became someone of substantial value, of importance, and I missed out. Now I'm at your mercy, right? Now I'm at your mercy, and that's what it should be. Let's get back into it.
I see that. I understand that. You are in your situation, and you know what I'm saying? You ain't in poverty, but obviously at the same time, it's like, you know what I mean? Like you hustling, and you're struggling. You're struggling, and you're doing your thing.
Of course. But a lot of people are struggling, brother. You know, a lot. There are a lot of people out here struggling. But the bottom line is how do I get through that struggle? You know what I'm saying? How am I going to come back? You know what I'm saying? How am I going to be able to bounce back from that
And
bounce to something else?
And I truly recognize that. I think for the first time in my life, I realized that when you talk to me about buying you a truck, which I will do, and when you talk to me about helping you, which I will do now, it isn't for you selfishly. It's for my little brother and your wife.
Exactly.
Now, respectfully, from the bottom of my heart, I think that a lot of the shit that you used to ask me for 10 plus years ago, it wasn't for them, because guess what? That little boy didn't exist.
No, because it was for my self-centeredness. You know, bottom line is as I've gotten to evolve to where I'm at right now, I realize about the self-centeredness. I realize the self-sacrifice that I give today. You know, I didn't sacrifice anything a long time ago, you know, but I feel that I sacrificed today.
I feel that you sacrificed today. Yeah. I see how much you care about that little boy. You care about that
little boy, your little brother.
My little brother, yeah, but I'm saying that beautiful little boy, I see, because I was him, and you didn't sacrifice when I was him, and you didn't sacrifice when my sisters were him, or my brothers were him, and guess what? I'm not here to beat you up or make you feel bad. I'm here to celebrate you because you finally feel it.
Yeah.
And the happiness and the gratitude and the appreciation that I feel when I see how much you feel about that little boy, the way I wish you would have felt about me, it makes me happy. We talked about the fact that, you know, if I help you, because I know you've talked about me. You've said, you know, Dad, Bobby don't help nobody. You've said this. I'm not saying you're saying it right now.
No. I mean, the bottom line
you've said it.
It's been said by me before.
Exactly.
But the bottom line is, what I realize is that you don't owe me a motherfucking thing. You don't owe me nothing. You know, and I had to come to the realization of that. You know, I gave you your talent, but my talent was given to me by my father, which is given to you by your father, which is given to you, in which you're going to give your son,
100%,
Bobby.
Yeah. Okay,
so it's going down the line.
It is, but I just want to say one thing. I want to say that when we spoke earlier, and that I know you've said things like, my son don't help me, my son don't help anybody, da-da-da. Respectfully, in a place I know that was said from ignorance, because there's also a big side of you that you know now, but you didn't know at the time. You know, I have helped people in my family, and I've helped people outside of my family. I've helped people afford homes. I've helped the homeless. I've helped people in my black community. I've donated anonymously.
Oh, I know. I know all those things that you've done.
But let me finish. So what I'm saying is respectfully, Dad, you actually don't know all the things that I've done, because most people don't know all the things that I've done, because I don't exploit the fact that I give, let alone to my black community. I'm not out here trying to prove my blackness. You know, I'm not a nigga who goes to the hood with a fucking turkey every Thanksgiving and throws it out. I'm not. That's not who I am. So with that being said, Daddy, when we spoke earlier today, I know there's a lot of motherfuckers even in our family who could be like, oh, Bobby, don't, you know, he got all this money, he got millions of dollars, but he don't want to help nobody, he don't want to buy nobody a house. Well, hold up, let's just step back real quick. And I'm gonna say all this, and it's not gonna be a one-sided conversation, Dad. I promise you. But this, I just want to get this out, and I want to say it, and I really want to go back and forth, and I want to have fun. I want to laugh, and I want to have a good time. But I just want to say this because it's very important to me. There was a time when you came to me, asked me for $850,000 to buy you a house studio for you and your band. Now, I've also had my sister ask me to buy her a house. I've had my brothers ask me to give them money. I've given tens of thousands of dollars to my brothers and my sisters, and I've seen them pass it away. So when you do the math, right, and we did the math earlier.
Regardless of how much you think I have, what in your brain triggers and says, let me ask him, let me ask her to buy me a house? Huh? Let me ask them to buy me a house. A fucking house. That dialogue option is not for you. You don't get that dialogue option. Things like houses and cars, those should only be afforded to people, or only should be given to people that the person felt that was laid on their heart to do. You don't go and ask somebody for this type of shit. These things come with maintenance. These things come with extra, I'm not going to say burdens, but they come with extra things attached to them. It's just not a one and done type thing. They have maintenance. They have different insurances that have to be kept up indefinitely. So that is a very selfish thing to ask somebody for, regardless of how much money they have. Help is one thing. Asking someone to take care of you is a whole nother story.
Today, it's you, it's my mama, it's my brother, it's my sister, it's my other sister, it's my other sister, it's my other sister, it's my other brother, it's my other brother. That's 9. Now, let's not talk about how many fucking kids all these people got, but let's just talk about those 9 people. Yeah. So if I'm gonna buy y'all a decent house, that's $500,000. That's for 2 people, $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, $4.5 million just to purchase that, let alone mortgage, let alone other bills that come into that. Now, okay, you got a house, so then what? That's 9 houses. Let's talk about 9 vehicles. Let's talk about 9 cars that I got to pay for. Let's talk about 9 gas bills a month I got to pay for. Let's talk about 9 AT&T fucking bills I got to pay for. 9 Comcast bills, HBO bills. I'm gonna keep going. Cause guess what? If I'm paying all this money, ain't nobody on welfare no more. Niggas ain't fucking broke no more. So they ain't on welfare, they ain't on food stamps. That's 9 people I gotta pay for food for. That's 9 people I gotta pay for vacations for. Now let's also talk about the fact that a majority of your children and my mother's children all have children. So let's duplicate that motherfucker times about however much that is. Fuck that. And unfortunately, I've learned when I give 10,000 here, 5,000 here of cash to somebody, and then they blow it, and then they don't got nothing.
They don't use it right.
And then they look at me like I fucked up or I did something wrong, and then they come back and they ask me again and again and again. Now, as a fucking millionaire,
that resentment, right? We talked about that resentment that builds when you give to a person to where they become not self-sufficient, but so dependent on that person, and you take that from them. They don't know how to handle that. They don't look at it as, I should be gracious that they have done this up until this point. But it has the adverse effect, or the reverse effect almost to it, where they have a resentment towards you now. Like you were the person who I didn't give you this money to buy dumb shit with. I gave you this money to get you out of a rock between a hard place. I gave you this money to get you out of a fucking pickle, bitch. A pickle. And instead of you managing, budgeting. Now, when we talk about people being broke or poor, I think what people want to say is they mismanage their funds. They're not financially literate. A lot of people still to this day, and I think I might have to do a channel on how to use a credit card or make a course or something. If you guys are interested in it, let me know. People are scared of credit cards. I know a lot of people demonize credit and credit cards, right? My grandmother being one of, well, I'm not going to say she demonizes them, but she is very, wary of them. And she says, oh, the APR, the interest rate, this, that, and the third. But if you understand how the credit card works, you're making money off of that. But what happens is people look at these credit limits and say, oh, they gave me this money. And no, it's not, you're giving this money, yes, but it's a lending type thing. You're borrowing this money. So you have to treat it as, okay, whatever I spend, I need to be paying that back. And as long as you pay that back every month in full, you have no interest being charged to you. These people spend this money, they spend money that they do not have and have no way of getting out of the debt that they have accrued, and it just plummets their score. And when you plummet that score, it's hard to build it, but it's very easy to fuck it up. And then they just write off credit cards, and anybody they see or anybody they come to, oh no, don't get a credit card, this, that, and the third, they got me. You got yourself. Tell the whole story, you got yourself. You were not trained, and you had no proper understanding of this tool, and it backfired on you.
Who has broken that cycle, made it out the hood, educated myself, and understand what it means to be self-sufficient. There is no way as a fucking man that I could ever, as much as it hurts me to see the people that I love struggle, give them money and watch them just burn it to nothing again. So I say all that to say, Daddy, I love you with all my heart. And the only reason I ain't never given you a crazy amount of money is because I didn't want to see you blow it. Now, with all that said, we had a conversation today. I'm going to buy you a truck, and I'm going to do more than that. And once I say what I'm about to say right now, I'm going to shut the fuck up, and we're going to have a really good, fun conversation. Daddy, you want to leave something to your son. Your son, your little boy, Ashton. You want to leave a legacy to him and his mother, T, his mother,
Exactly,
T.
exactly.
And we talked about that, and we had an amazing conversation last night, and I finally realized a great way to not enable you or my brothers or different people, but help you, and that's by making music together.
All right, that's we didn't see enough of that. I'm gonna put the link of the full interview down in the comments and in the description. But it takes a certain man to push through, because you're gonna go through these emotions, guys. I'm letting y'all know that. When you haven't had that, and then these people just come out of nowhere expecting things from you because you are that guy now. Oh, they may feel like you owe them something because they birthed you, but in all actuality, you don't owe them anything. And when these people come to you, you could go through a string of emotions. You could feel angry. You can feel infuriated. You can feel overwhelmingly sad. You can feel disappointed. You are exactly who I thought you're going to be. You can go through all these hosts of emotions and still go past this and grow to a higher point and say, you know what? I am pissed. I'm pissed that you were not there, but that's in the past now. You have another son, and you're applying that to your new son now. You finally get what I wanted, and you're giving it to my brother. We've been through the host of emotions. I've been through every emotion, and I've learned and overcome that. Now let's talk about this. I'm not going to take care of you, right? Because there is a distinction between taking care of somebody and helping somebody. I will help you become self-sufficient. That will go a lot further than me just giving you money or putting you up in a home and you just being so dependent on me and you not having the financial literacy or capacity because you have not equipped yourself with these tools to be able to maintain this on your own. That would be foolish of me to put you in that position. That's what you need to understand. And then, like he said, it's ignorance, so you can't blame them because they don't understand what they do. But if you can sit down and we can have a grown-up conversation, we can put our differences aside. Now this is about my little brother and this is about your wife, and when you pass away they have something. Music is perfect. That is a perfect, you get your masters, that music is yours. You will forever get royalties and money from that. If a song blows up, they have to cut you that check because you own that. You own the rights to all of that. Beautiful display. And that's what I advise anybody, any man that comes up, right, and they have family members looking with their hands out. If you feel apt to help them, don't take care of them. Help them achieve what they're trying to achieve. Is there any type of business that you want to start? Is there anything that you have a passion for? Maybe I can help that come true. So you can create a legacy not only for yourself, but for your family. So we can create generational wealth and not give you money for the moment, but give you money for the long term. And that's what I advise anybody, any man that comes up, right, and they have family members looking with their hands out. If you feel apt to help them, don't take care of them. Help them achieve what they're trying to achieve. Is there any type of business that you want to start? Is there anything that you have a passion for? Maybe I can help that come true. So you can create a legacy not only for yourself, but for your family. So we can create generational wealth and not give you money for the moment, and that money be gone next week, next month, next year, and you're back. You're back for another handout. That's not going to do anybody no good. But I don't know. But I do know one thing, though. Make sure you dot your I's across your T's. It's your boy Alex. Catch y'all in the next one.